Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Afia Saleh. Yeah. Today guys, I went all the way to the different facility to meet the community health nurse. Yes. We're basically going to talk about family planning methods. By the end of the discussion guys, I'll be able to choose a method for myself, and I'm hoping you choose a method for yourself too. Alright guys, so I'm finally here. I'm here with a CHN. Her name is Josephine. Hi, Josephine.
Hello.
She's such a wonderful person. Josephine, tell my subscribers something small about yourself before we proceed.
Okay, thank you. So, like my sister said, I'm Josephine Osaida. I am a CHN, and then I'm working currently. So we are coming to learn something about family planning. The things that we need to know.
Yeah. And also those who are eligible and those who are not eligible, right? Yeah, guys. So by the end of this discussion, I'm sure you'll be able to choose a method for yourself because I'm here and I want to choose a method for myself, right? Alright, so Josephine, we want to know what family planning is at all and then the types so that we can choose a method.
Okay. Family planning is defined as a method in which individuals and couples plan as to how to give birth,
okay,
when to start, how to space the number of kids they want to give birth to, and possibly when to quit.
Okay. So what about the types?
Okay, basically we have two types of family planning. We have the traditional method of family planning and the modern method.
Okay, there's a traditional method and then the modern method. So what does the traditional method entails?
Okay, the traditional method is basically natural.
Okay.
It's a natural form of family planning. So basically it comes in four types, where we have one, lactation and menorrhea method, we have the cervical mucus, the valence method, the calendar, and then probably the use of cycle bees. Okay. So we will dive much into what I've just.
Okay guys, so we have four types, yes, of the natural family planning method. That's the traditional one. So she's going to dive into each of them. In case you want to choose the natural method, that's fine. After her explanation and everything and you think it suits you, then you can choose it. So Josephine, tell us about each of the natural methods you've mentioned.
Okay, so we are explaining the four types so that we will know how each of them works.
Okay.
So we have the cervical mucus. When we talk about the cervical mucus, we are talking about the cervix. The cervix is part of the uterus.
Alright.
For which we have the supravaginal cervix and the infravaginal cervix. So at the mouth of the cervix, each time the cervix produces some mucus which comes into our vagina so that we will know as to how we are
as to
whether we are safe or we are not safe.
Okay.
It helps you to know.
So this cervical mucus you are talking about, is it the same thing that we see our panties wet at times and all that? Is it the cervical mucus we see each day?
No, basically every woman discharges, but the cervical mucus I'm talking about is very clear. It's very stretchy. You can stretch your hands up to this level and it wouldn't.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So when you see these things, it helps you to know that at this time of the month you are not safe, you are ovulating, or probably you are in your danger zone. If care is not taken and you go in for sex, maybe you are not planning to get pregnant. So if you go in for unprotected sex.
Alright, so does that mean that if I see that thin stretchy thing, it means I'm ovulating?
Yes, it means at that time of the month.
I'm ovulating. Okay, so if I want a baby, I can go in and have sex with my partner.
You can achieve pregnancy by using that.
Okay, but then if I'm not ready, as soon as I see that stretchy, sticky thing, I should
abstain or you use condom.
Guys, are you listening? Alright.
Okay, we now go to the calendar method. We all have calendars on our phone, but I'm talking about the family planning one. So, looking at the calendar, we have.
Okay, so guys, I wish we had the family planning calendar so that we show it to you. But I think you can calculate it with your phone calendar. Right?
Yes, but this one is very simple. It's very simple to use this one. No sweat. So it's called a cycle beast. This is it.
Okay, guys. So, oh, are you seeing it? The cycle is something small. Don't worry.
Small. Looking at the cycle beast, we have the red part. That is where your menses starts. So the day that the menstruation comes, there's a ring around it. So you'll be moving the ring. Maybe yours comes in 5 days, 4 days, 6 days, or probably in 7 days. So each day you'll be moving the ring.
Okay.
So there's a white part here, which shows that at that time you are free.
Alright, Josephine. So tell us more.
Okay, so we are starting with the cycle beast. Looking at the cycle beast, we have the red part.
Alright.
Which shows that that is the day that you had your menses. There's a ring around it. So each and every day, as the days go by, you will be moving the ring. Maybe yours comes in 5 days, others comes in 7, others also come in 3. So you'll be moving it. So this particular cycle beast works for those who have a 28-day cycle.
Okay.
So if you have a 28-day cycle, this thing is going to work for you. Mostly after your menses, on the 14th day, I'm talking to those who have a cycle length of 28 days. On the 14th day, you will see that you are ovulating.
By the cervical mucus you talked about.
Yes.
Okay.
So as you'll be moving the ring, you'll be counting. Maybe this is cycle day 5, cycle day 6. So you'll be moving it. So if you look at yourself, on the 14th day, you see that you're ovulating. That is when all these things will come into play. You see the cervical mucus, which is very thin, stretchy, clear. At times you could feel that your body temperature has changed. You feel so warm to touch. That's why some people will even ask you, are you on heat?
Alright.
So that is basically what the cycle is.
Okay. So if we understand you clearly, if you have a 28-day cycle like myself, that means you'll be ovulating on the 14th day after your menses, right?
Sure.
Alright. So on the 14th day, expect to see stretchy cervical mucus, which will indicate that yes, you're ovulating, dear. So if you think you can use the cycle beats method, good for you. We can just
I want to chip in something.
Okay.
Even though you are a 28-day cycle, you have a 28-day cycle. At times there are some variations that can cause the system to also start acting up. So you could add +2 or -2.
Okay.
So if you look at yourself, or you could see that at some point it's either your ovulation is going to add up, some 2 days or 1 day is going to add up, or it's going to deduct.
Okay, so that means you could ovulate on the 14th day, on the 16th day, or on the 12th.
Yes.
Okay, guys, I hope you are with us. So we're moving on to a different method. So if you think this cycle will not work for you, don't worry. It's not going to work for me either. We have a lot to talk about. Probably you get a different one. Okay, guys, so we're moving on to the artificial method. Yes, the man-made. Yeah. Probably if the natural one does not suit you like myself, let's go in for the artificial one. Let's listen to it. Maybe, probably after the discussion, we would be able to choose a method. Stay good. Okay, so Josephine, let's talk about the artificial ones.
Okay, thank you. So for the artificial ones, we have the short term, the long term, and the permanent methods of family planning. So we'll dive into each of them.
Short, long, and then permanent.
So for the short
permanent. Sounds interesting, guys. Are you with me?
For the short term methods, we have hormonal and barrier.
Okay.
Under the barrier, we have spermicide, male and female condom, diaphragms, and the cervical cap. And then the hormonal, that is why we have the injectables and the oral pills, like the nitrogenum, microlute, and the injectables. We have Norigenum, Depo, and the Cyanopress.
Okay.
So we move on to the long term. The long term too, we have IUD, which is also called the copper T, and then we have the Jadel and the Implanon. Well, the Jadel is 5 years, it has 2 rods, and the Implanon is 1 rod, and it takes it has a maximum expiration date of 3 years. And then the permanent methods, that is when we talk about the bilateral tubal ligation, BTL. That is done for the female sterilization, and the male sterilization called vasectomy. And then we have the third one as total hysterectomy, the total removal of the uterus. So that is the permanent methods of family planning.
I see. So people do come and remove their uterus.
Yeah.
Oh,
People might not even do it for doing it sick, but maybe some medical complications.
Oh, okay.
Might opt for that.
Okay. So can you take each method and explain to us?
Okay, so we start with the short-term methods. We don't have examples of the barrier methods, but we have only the condom. So that is why we have a model penis here to make
Oh my God, guys.
Are
you ready?
Interested.
Guys, are you ready? Alright, so let's go on.
Okay, so I said something about the barrier methods where I made mention of the condom, where we have male and female condom. So at our disposal, we have the male condom. We are going to show us each one of us how to put on the condom. We are about to demonstrate it so that any of us.
Okay, so this is a condom.
Yeah.
Guys, condom. This is condom. Guys, I don't even know how to show you how it looks like. I think it has a white wrapper with the expiry date on it. Yes. Okay, then the manufacturing date. So make sure you don't buy an expired condom, guys. Yes. It might break if it's expired, right?
Yeah.
Guys, this is a condom. We are going to illustrate how you will use it, okay? Don't worry, guys.
Alright, thank you. So, in any of the procedures, nursing, we really embark on infection prevention methods. Okay. So, in all that you do, you have to wash your hands. So, you have to conduct hand washing. So I've done mine before I sat down. I don't want to make the video too long for us. It has to be interesting. So looking at the condom, we have the manufacturing date, like my sister said, the batch number and the expiry date. So whenever you are going in for a male or a female condom, this is a male condom. That is very simple to illustrate. That is why we are using that. And this is a dummy penis. So looking at it, you see, you have to check if the expiry date has not elapsed. So after you bought it and you brought it to when everything has started, after romance and everything, you have to make sure that the penis is hard. It shouldn't be flappy. It should be hard so that when you are putting the condom on, it will be able to assume the shape of this thing. Okay.
So guys, it should be hard. Are you with me? Hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Hard is the key word. It shouldn't be soft. Please. It should be hard. So looking at it, you look at the expiry date. Looking at the condom that I have here, the expiry date has not elapsed. So we have the smooth side and then we have the zigzag side. So after I've done my hand washing, I know my man is ready. I'm also ready. So I go in for the condom. And then if you plan to tear it from this place, you are going to have a hard time. So it will be very simple. You tear it from the sister side. Yes. So what you see, it's easy to tear it at the sister side. Since I've washed my hands, I know I'm not going to introduce any infection on my man's his penis. So after that, I take off the condom from the pack. I assume that everything is intact. Yeah. So looking at it, there is an oily thing around it which indicates that it hasn't expired. It's still good to use.
Okay, so when it's expired, it means the condom will be dry.
Yes, it will dry. Right. The oil will dry off.
Okay.
So look at something here. As soon as you open the pack, you see that there is there is something here you need to hold.
Yeah, like a corn shape.
A corn shape.
So you have to hold that end.
So that when you are putting it on the man's penis, air wouldn't air wouldn't get into it, so that when the action goes on, it wouldn't burst. Because if it bursts, my dear wahala, you have to use a backup. Or else some of the sperms have even swum.
Yes.
And maneuvered their way through. So we are coming to demonstrate on how to use it.
Okay.
So this is the hard penis.
Yes, the erected penis. Yeah.
Since we don't have much time, we put it on it like this, where I hold the cone-shaped area so that air wouldn't get into it, so that when there is friction, as when he goes in and out, it wouldn't burst. Then I'll roll it gradually to the balls of my man.
Oh.
So when I'm done, I'll move my finger, and then I see that this is the place that the sperms are going to accumulate to.
Alright, so guys, this guy is ready for action. Yeah.
So that we will continue our actions, that we can't even wait.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Guys, are you going to choose this method, or you still want us to go further so you choose a different one? We are here for you, okay?
Okay, thank you for staying tuned. So after the action is done, you could see that when the man has come, he has
Committed, yes. So after ejaculation,
you will see that the sperms has accumulated at this place.
yeah, the cone-shaped area.
So when it's done, you see that the penis is not as hard as it was at first. You could see that when you were putting it on, it was like this, but this time it might be like this, like this.
A falling hero.
A falling hero, just as she said. So when the action is done, please, you try as much as possible to remove the condom. And by doing so, you have to do it in a hygienic way, so that the sperm wouldn't split, and then it might even pour on the bed or even on the floor, which is unhygienic. So you use maybe a cotton or a disposable wrapper to support the tip of the penis like this, and then you roll it. So after rolling, you make sure that at the edge of this point does not spill. So as I am saying, you might have your disposable tissue around where you use it to support it from spilling. Yeah. So you hold it like this.
Ooh. Okay.
So you use your disposable tissue or cotton to support it, to prevent the sperms from falling, from spilling. When you are done, you wrap it in a polythene bag and then you discard it. It's either you burn it or you can put it in a refuse dump and burn it.
Okay. So guys, after that, it should be burned or you bury it. Yeah. Don't put it in the water closet. Yes, it's a bad habit. Don't do that. Okay.
Don't put it anywhere, because we have kids at home. They can equally go for it. When they see, they might think that it's something like a milk or a dairy product. They might insert it into their mouth.
Oh my God. When your son or your daughter drinks this. Okay, so let's move on to a different.
So we talked about the short term. So this was part of the barrier. So we have the hormonal, where we have the injectables and the oral pills. The example of the pill is this one, microgynon. It comes in two forms. We have the microgynon and the microlith. The microlith is normally given to breastfeeding mothers so that it doesn't interact with the breast milk. And the microgynon is given to anyone in her fertility age. So it has arrows on it, where you need to follow the arrows so that you won't run at a loss. Because it might be that you are taking the pill but you are not protecting yourself. So we have arrows around it. So this one, it goes in this direction. It goes like this, then you come down, then it comes like this, then you come down again. By the time you reach here, there's an iron supplement. By the time you reach here, your menses is about to come. So even when you menstruate, this thing is supplementing it. You don't lose much blood because the menstruation that is coming is your own blood.
Okay.
So we are done with the pill. The injectables, we have the Depo-Provera, the Cyana Press, and the original. For now, the original is very scarce in our country, but we have the Depo here. So it comes in 150 milligram strength, and then it has a maximum expiration date of 3 months. So when the woman comes here, or the lady, or anyone who is fertile and thinks she is sexually active and needs to protect herself, so when she comes here, we give it to her, we give her the date, we measure, we take the blood pressure, we weigh the person, we usually do all these things to serve as a baseline for care. Then we give her the next visit, so that when she comes, we draw everything from the vial, and we give it to them so that they will get the maximum protection. We also have the Cyana Press, which also has a maximum date of 3 months, but I've run out of stock here. It's also similar to this one. Okay. That one, we give it into the muscle, the fatty subcutaneous. It's given subcutaneously. So looking at any part of the body that we have these fats, so it can be given here on our thighs, lower abdomen. We have fats there so that it will dissolve faster for the person to make use of it. Thank you. So we are done with the short term.
Okay, so guys, the barrier methods and then the injectables are the short form of family planning method. So I hope
you've learned
something. And probably you've chosen a method, right?
It's better you choose one.
Okay, so if not, we are going to the permanent method.
We have the long
okay, we have the long term. So we are going in for the long term, and after all, we move to the permanent method. Probably you want a permanent method. Guys, okay. Okay, guys, we're moving on to the long term method. Yes. Okay.
So the long-term exercise, I made mention of 3 things. So we have the implants and the IUD. Okay. So the IUD is intrauterine device.
Alright.
It comes in a T shape, so mostly we call it copper T. It's done by the midwives, even though we are CHNs and then we do the family plan. We don't enter.
Yeah.
She's a midwife, so when you see her, she will do it for you. We don't enter into the uterus, so it's better we give it to them so that they do it. It's part of their scope of work.
Yeah.
So when you come there and you opt for IUD, IUD is non-hormonal, so it's the best option for each and every one of us to choose. Okay. Unlike the other 2 of the implants, which has a long term, where we have the Jadel, which comes in 2 rows. So I have an example of the Jadel here and the trocar. So this is the Jadel.
Guys, are you seeing it?
Jadel.
Jadel. Yes. This is Jadel. Do you see Jadel? Jadel. Yes. Information for free and you're not subscribing, guys, you're a criminal. Okay, so the Jadel.
So I'll show you a typical example of Jadel. So it comes like this. So you could see that it comes in 2 rows. And then we have the trocar. This is used to insert it.
So which part do we insert the Jadel?
Okay. So I'll use myself as an example.
Oh, don't worry, you can use me.
Okay. So most of the time when someone comes to the unit and wants to do a long-term family planning method, the best thing to do is to take the person's history. So we have this book at our end, and then we open the book. We have the name, age, sex, marital status, home address, telephone, educational background, occupation. We look at the obstetric history of the person, family planning history. If the person has done some before and felt it's good, or was on another method and felt that the long term is quite better and wants to switch to that one, we take the obstetric history and the medical history. Initial physical appearance, where we make use, we put down the dates, we take their weight, BP. Is the person healthy? Is she feeling ill? Is the person compromised or incapacitated to do the thing? So after you filled everything, you take your commodity, that is the method the person choose. You tell the person about the type of work the drug will do, that is the mechanism of action, the legibility, the changes the person is going to see in her system, and when to report to the facility for the necessary actions to be taken. So when she comes, we normally, in order to be on a safer side, you have to do a urine pregnancy test to rule out pregnancy.
Okay.
But one thing I would advise that the person has to be sure that she is not pregnant. And you too, the health worker, has to be sure. So right after doing the urine pregnancy test, you have to indicate in the book that you did urine pregnancy test and it's negative, so that you'll be on a safer side. So you put it down here. And the obstetric history, you can put it down and tell it. So anyone who comes across this book will know that you did your possible best, because maybe the person has gone in for sex and might be pregnant, but it takes about 2 weeks for the HC, the human chorionic gonadotropin hormone, to come into the urine, so that you can detect that someone is pregnant, or possibly after a month that she might feel the signs that she's pregnant, so that she can even go in for a scan. So to be on the safer side, you do that to rule out pregnancy. You put it down. So after you are done, your tray is set. So you clean. It's a sterile procedure, because you are coming into contact with blood and other things. So you wear your surgical. You could put on a disposable gloves. So when you are done, you normally do it on the person's non-dominant hand.
Okay.
So if the person is a right-handed person, you use the left. So if the person is a left-handed person, you use the right. So the non-dominant, the hand that normally don't stress itself with most of the activities we do at home. So when the person comes, we've been taught a whole lot, but there are different school of thought. But now the process in doing it has been revised, and we are told that when the person comes, you make a comfortable bed for the person using the non-dominant hand. You mark it. I think the left hand will do more.
Okay. So I want my subscriber to see what's going on.
Okay, so let's use this one. So I'll use this bone as my marker. Then I'll place my 4 fingers like this. So mostly when we are doing it, we have our markers around us. So where my little finger is here, I'll mark 1. If she is doing the jadel. So it comes in 2 rows, so I have to go in a V shape. So this V shape means I'll go here and here. Please, are you following?
I'm sure they are.
So this is my marker. I said I'll use this bone. So I come in here like this. Use the little finger, and I come in here and then here. Okay. So that is where I will insert my 2 rows.
Alright.
And it is done just under the skin. It shouldn't go deep into the muscles, else if the person comes in to do the removal, you will suffer, because it has eaten into the muscles. We are using this place because there is less muscles here, because the biceps are here, the triceps are here. But when we come down here, we are normally using the muscles here. It's very difficult that you are going deep into the muscles when you come here. This place is more of the skin, so you will do it under the skin, so that when the person comes in for removal, it will be easy for you to do it.
Okay, so this will protect the one for how many years?
For 5 years.
Okay.
And then we have post-insertion instructions too. When we are done with it, when we are done with the procedure, it doesn't mean that as soon as we are done, you are going to enjoy sex without protecting. Even though you protected yourself, the hormones in the rods haven't started working in your system. So we have to give you a maximum of at least, the least is 3 days, and the maximum is 1 week.
Okay.
But by the third day, that the drug has started working. So if you are sexually active, you can abstain, then use a backup.
Okay.
Backup, where we make use of the male or the female condom. It's not good to use the other ones.
Okay. So this is 5 years, the long term, and then what else?
So we have another long term called the implant nest. It's like the Jadel, but this one is a one rod. And then it comes and it has its own trigger. It's like this. If someone will shout to, but this one, the drug is inserted into the trigger. Please, can you see it?
Guys, yeah, I'm sure you've seen it, right?
So just as I did for the Jadel, this one, when you locate the site, you are going straight because it's only one rod. Just under the skin, you pick it under the skin, and then you do the insertion.
Okay. So the long term, we have the implant nest, the Jadel,
and the IUD. For the IUD, I am not a midwife.
and then the IUD, which is inserted into the uterus. Yes. Okay.
And then the IUD protects the woman for 10 good years.
Wow. Guys, are you with me?
10 good years. So if you want to give that space between your kids, I would advise you go in for this. Or you are done giving birth and you want to protect yourself, since you are human, definitely you go in for sex. It's also a good method to indulge in.
Okay, thank you so much, Josephine. So guys, we are moving on to the permanent methods. Yes, if you want a permanent methods, guys, stay glued. Alright, so we're going to talk about the permanent methods.
So I made mention of 3 things which is done under the permanent methods of family planning, where we have the BTL, bilateral tubal ligation. Bilateral means 2.
Okay.
So it means that fallopian tubes are inserted into the left and right side of our reproductive system. So looking at this diagram,
I'm not sure you can see it, yes, but guys, don't worry, you can search bilateral tubal ligation on your phone. And
or female sterilization.
Yeah, or female sterilization, and then you will see it.
It is done by a mechanical doctor.
Yeah, medical doctor.
Yes,
Yes, guys, it's done by a medical doctor, yes, because they are going to tie the tubes. Yeah.
So it's done by a medical doctor.
And it's an invasive procedure.
So no one does it on anyhow. And with this one, there is a legal paper that has to be signed by
something like a consent, right?
Yes, a consent form. That you yourself, you are in your right state of mind, right frame of mind, and you said you are opting for this procedure. Because when something happens, the doctor who did the procedure could be blamed, and possibly his certificate could be taken away from him.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's very serious. So even if you go in for this procedure, the doctor will give you some days to go and think about it and come again. Even when you can, they will try as much as possible to stress on its advantages and disadvantages. And if you still center on it that you are still ready to do this, they go ahead and do it for you. Or you sign the consent form, and then a witness will even endorse it.
Alright, so guys, I think that's fine. They've done their part. They've tried all means to change your mind, but if you still say, yes, I still want to do it, it's a permanent method, do it for me, they will do it for you. Okay.
At the end of the day, you are even helping them to enrich on their skills.
Yes, alright.
So they take you to the theater, go into the uterus, and then it's mostly done when a woman has gone through cesarean section like 4 times, or someone has given birth like 10. The person feels like at this point I have to. It's necessary.
Okay.
So the doctor targets the fallopian tubes, where mostly fertilization normally occur at the ampulla. So they target that side, because right from the ovaries when a matured ovum ruptures and is beaten back by the fimbrial umbilical into the ampulla, it's descending into the body of the uterus where maybe the sperms can meet the egg and pregnancy can occur. So they target this side, the ampulla of the uterus where normally fertilization takes place. They cut it and tie it.
Okay.
So it's done on both sides. That is why it's named bi. Bi means two.
Alright.
So that is basically.
So guys, bilateral tubal ligation for you. If you want to choose it, it's fine. You can choose it. It's a permanent family planning method. So moving on to the next method, which is
vasectomy. That is also called the male sterilization.
Okay, so the males, you're not left out. You can also do a permanent method. That is the vasectomy.
How many men do They don't do. They will keep on pushing their woman.
No, this time around, no. I think the problem is most men are naive. They don't know such a thing exists. They don't know they can also take part in family planning methods.
Even if they know, at times they feel like, hey, for a man here, why should I do this?
Guys, is that true?
It's true. I've met so many people that I try to even ask them, ask their opinions about this, and they keep on saying the same thing. It sounds true.
Wow, guys, this is vasectomy for you. You can also choose vasectomy. You do vasectomy. She's going to explain it to us how it is done. So probably if you are a male and you think you've given birth to a lot of children and you can't even take care of them, this is a best choice for you to choose, right? An option, right? So let's move on. Tell us about the vasectomy.
Like I said about the female sterilization, it's also done by a medical doctor. And then you send a consent form, and then he will sit you down, explain to you about the advantage and its disadvantages.
Okay.
And when you are still insisting on to do it, they take you to the theater and then they target the spermatic cord.
Okay. So guys, this does not mean that you will not be able to function in bed after this procedure. No. You can do whatever you want to do. You can have sex with your woman, you can erect, you ejaculate, everything. The only issue is you will not give birth to kids. Yes. You cannot impregnate any woman, but you can do whatever you want to do. Guys, yeah, so you really have to look into this one, okay?
So one misconception I wanted to clear our minds of, my sister has said it, because she's also a midwife and she knows these things. These things comes to her table all the time. And then I want to stress more on that. Even after male sterilization or vasectomy, for the next 20 ejaculations, you can even impregnate a woman. Even though you've gone in for the procedure, because as at the time you were doing it, the testicles some have even matured and have released the testosterone, and you can impregnate a woman. So even if a man goes in for this procedure, we advise them that since you said you don't want to give birth again, for your next 20 sexual intercourse or ejaculations, you have to use a male condom. So that at the end of the day, you might think that you are not impregnating the woman. Meanwhile, it could be the other way around.
You see? So guys, so even though you've done vasectomy, but for your next 20 ejaculations, you should use a backup method. That's the male condom. Yeah. And it's fine.
If you are not interested in using it, you can also persuade your woman to use a female condom.
Okay, that's also fine.
It's also a barrier method.
Besides, you are helping each other.
So, like I said, it is a doctor who will make use of this procedure, and then when he gets you to the theater, he targets the spermatic cord, he cuts it and ties it, just like he cut it
and the fallopian tubes. Okay, guys, I think she's done a great job, right, guys? I think it's left with one of the permanent methods, right?
Total hysterectomy.
Yes, total hysterectomy. I think we've talked about that already, but we're going to throw more light on it, and then we bring this discussion to an end. Okay, so what is total hysterectomy?
Okay, total hysterectomy is the total removal of the uterus. The uterus comes in parts. We have the fallopian tubes, the ovaries, the cervix. So we are removing everything from that means the woman might be there, but the reproductive system isn't there. So that if the uterus and its accessories, whatever comes with the uterus is not there, how do you get pregnant? It's not there. So some people also buy in for this. After looking at themselves, they think they've given birth to a maximum number of children they want to give birth to, and then they go in for this procedure. Others too, because of some obstetric complications, maybe involving yourself in an abortion, an incomplete one, and then you might be bleeding, and the best thing to do to help you might be to remove the entire uterus so that they will save you. So people normally
it's better to live than to die.
But as some emergencies, you could do them even in an accident or any other thing. If doing that will save the mother or the woman, definitely why they will do it to save her. So that is also a form of permanent.
Okay, guys. So we draw the curtains down. And what are you going to say to our sister? Thank you so much. Thank you for explaining everything to us, from the natural method to the artificial ones, the permanent, and then the timely ones. Thank you so much, guys. I have chosen a method, and I hope you have too, right? Yeah. Yes, thank you so much, guys. If you've not subscribed to my channel yet, guys, what are you waiting for?
We are learning so
What
much.
are you waiting for? Kindly subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell so that you get notifications of my videos. Thank you so much. Thank you and bye bye.